Hello and welcome to the Change Gang podcast with me, your host, Laura Ordile. I'm here to help you hold on to your sanity and your soul as you move through big change. I'm here to guide you from frustration to flow in your life, bridging the practical and the woo, just for you. Let's go. All right, welcome to the Week Change Gang. I am so excited to have Lisa Williams here. She is the vision board queen, and I love vision boards because I have them, and I'm looking forward to this conversation to see how I can do them a little bit better maybe. And she's having an exciting week. But first, I want you to say hello to Lisa. And Lisa, please say hi and tell us just a little bit about you for a minute.
Hi, thank you, Laura, for having me here. Yes, I am Lisa Williams, also known as the Vision Board Queen, and I help people create the blueprints for their dream life using the power of vision boards so that they can live the life and the freedom that they desire.
That's the way to do it. That's awesome. And I know at the time that we're recording this, it's a really exciting week for you. Your book just came out, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Monday, 2 days ago, we launched my very own first book called The Vision Board Blueprint, and we went #1 bestseller yesterday in the UK Amazon charts, which was incredible.
That is so exciting. That is incredibly exciting. I'm super excited for you, and so it's in the UK, but everybody can find it, right?
Yeah, you can find it's on Amazon, so it's available in all Amazon, anywhere Amazon sells, basically. So if you go onto the Amazon in the US, type in Vision Board Blueprints, and you'll be able to purchase the Kindle and the paperback via there.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So tell us, what has a vision board done in your life? Tell us a little bit about why you decided to teach other people how to do vision boards. Tell us how they showed up in your life and what difference they've made.
Yeah, that's what the best place to start, really. So back in 2017, I was at a very dark place in my own personal life. I had just gone through several miscarriages, and I didn't really have, I wasn't really living my life. I was getting up, going to work, going to bed, getting up, going to work, going to bed. I was on a very much of a hamster wheel roller coaster of life. And I had a child at the time who was around 4, I think, about 4. And I wasn't really being the best version of a mum to her. So I knew something had to change, and I had to make some changes in my life. And that was when I was introduced to personal development. Personal development really made a huge difference in my life. I started to make changes via personal development. I then went on to read things like The Secret, The Universe Has Your Back, and I started to implement these changes in my own life, and vision boards kept showing up for me. And then that's when I created my own vision board in 2018. And from that, it was just a snowball effect of life-changing things happening, and I was like, other people need to know about this. And then I went on to train as a vision board facilitator so I could host my own workshops. And then as that developed, I then went on to open up an online community to help people stay focused on their visions and their dreams. And then that's kind of where it's led me to today.
So one of the things with vision boards, I think, is some people are going to say, well, why do you need help with a vision board? What, you just pin things up, you just, or you just paste them on a paper, or you do something, and you put it up there. But I know from my own experience, but I'd love to hear from you too, that's not exactly, it's a lot of what you put behind it. And there's a lot more to it than just poking a pin in a picture up there. Because I know when I've done it, if you go into it with the energy of looking at it, every time you look at the vision board and you go, gosh, I don't have that yet. That's not there yet. That's building the wrong kind of energy. So what's the right kind of energy, and what's a little bit of the right way to do it so that you're not feeling that way when you look at it?
Yeah, so with vision boards, there is much more than sticking pictures on a board, and that's what some people assume it is, sticking pictures on a board, and that can be people's perceptions of it. But what I like to do, and which is why I've created the book really, is to give people the tools that they need to actually get underneath the surface of the vision board, to get the intention behind the vision board, to get all the work that people need to do. Because lots of things like blocks might show up when you are working towards something. So let's say you have a vision of a successful business on there, but then in your previous life, you might believe that people like you aren't successful. People like you won't get success. That's the work that needs to be done. And that's the work that I help support people with, to help them get through those blocks and get through those barriers.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly when I was talking about how people will look at it and have the wrong energy or the wrong feelings about something. So in your book, do you guide people through some of that underlying stuff so that as they're doing it, they're able to do it clearly and easily?
Yes, exactly. So the book is basically a combination of my own personal stories, and it gives people practical tools to actually be able to not only create a vision board, but create a vision board that actually they can work with. So that covers all of those limiting beliefs that we hold on to, tools that they can use like journaling to help them get more clear on what they actually want, get more understanding of what they want, and really allow them to embrace what they want, because some people hold themselves back from actually living that full potential that they deserve.
Oh, so true. So true. So can you share with us real quick, maybe a fun little one that showed up that you put on your vision board that came in a fun or interesting way for you?
That's an interesting question. I think lots have come in different ways. I wouldn't say any vision has came the same way, but one of my earlier visions, now a lot of your audience might not have heard of this person before. His name's Gary Barlow. I'm not sure if you've heard of a band called Take That.
I think so.
Yeah, they're a very popular band in the UK. I think they have done some tours in the US, but they are a really popular band in the UK. So I have been a fan of theirs since I was around 8 to 9 years old. And they came back and did like a comeback tour around around the year 2000. So each year since then, they've been doing a 2-yearly tour, if that. As a fan, their tours are packed out stadiums. You don't ever get to meet them. It's like going to see, there's a few country singers that I might know, Garth Brooks, for example. It's like going to see somebody like that, where the crowd's huge. You don't ever get to see them. And I put a picture on my vision board of Gary Barlow, and I wrote next to it, selfie, because I wanted to get a selfie with Gary Barlow. And following on from actually putting that on, I managed to get a ticket to his book launch party, and there was only 1,000 tickets available. And as you can imagine, his fan base is absolutely huge. And in the ticket, at the book launch party, there was 10 golden tickets available that came inside a book. And so there was like a 1 in 10, like 100,000 chance that you were going to get one of those golden tickets, and I managed to get a golden ticket, and I got my selfie with him.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh my goodness. That's so fun. When you do share with someone about working with vision boards, does it actually literally have to be a board? I see so many different versions of them. You see the ones where you paste pictures on the little boards, or you have ones that you pin pictures up on. In The Secret, actually, Mike Julie talks about where he put a book together as a vision book that he used.
And that was a great
Yeah,
story.
there is so many ways that you can create a vision board. Okay. Now, a lot of people, the traditional way is obviously cutting stuff out of magazines and putting it on a board, which is absolutely great. And that is the same method that I use now, although I don't use magazines. I use online digital tools like Canva images, Pinterest images. But as long as you are, whether you stick them on a board, pin them on a board, magnet them on a board, stick them on the wire boards, put them in a box, put them in a jar, whatever way you do it, it's about setting the intention into that and, putting that vision into that. But the most important part for me is staying consistent with staying connected with that vision board, because the more that we connect with the vision board, the more that we are actually putting that vision to life. Because you can create a vision board and leave it and not touch it for years and years and years. You're not actually going to be taking the steps towards those visions. So staying connected with that vision board is really, really powerful, because that's where you are doing the visualization stuff towards those visions. You are, connecting with that vision, maybe doing meditations or maybe writing your gratitudes to attach with that vision. So you are really empowering that vision. And that to me is one of the biggest parts. And that's the part that I found people missed out, which is why, obviously, that's why I wanted to create my membership, write the book, so that people have the whole puzzle and not just do one part of the vision board process.
I love that. I think a membership's a great idea, because not only do you spend your own time visualizing and kind of having that energy and stuff moving for you, you have the support and the added energy of other people that come into the flow and can support you in your visions, which I think is so incredibly important. That's great.
Absolutely. And I think the power with my own membership, obviously, I've just launched the book this week, as we shared at the beginning. Now, all of them have been behind me. Their vision for me being like achieving my vision is like putting that energy behind that vision, isn't it? It's like having the energy behind something in such a positive way. It's more powerful, isn't it? So having a community of people like that is absolutely key for me. It really has been such a great blessing to have the community that I've created.
That's so incredible. So do you do in your membership? I agree with all of that. I think that's absolutely, I got chills while you were talking about the support that you were getting. And that's exactly right. Because we're not in this alone. We're in this together. And if we have people like people doing that with us, that's incredible power that we get to use too, that we get to tap into and have our stuff come into reality, just like your book did. In your membership, tell us just for a minute a little bit about what you do in there. Do you have like weekly sessions or just share for a minute about it?
Of course. So we have a Zoom session every Monday where we get together and plan our week out, so that everyone has kind of got that consistent plan to work towards their goals and their dreams. On a Tuesday, there's usually a guest session that come in. So I have a team of guest experts that come into the academy every month. We have a manifestation coach. We have a lady who covers the direct selling for those that are in the direct selling industry. We also have a lady that does feng shui. We have a lady that covers personal development. There is about 8 experts in total that come in and cover a different topic. Then on a Wednesday, they're given a task to do. Obviously, it's down to the members themselves to actually go off and do that task. But each task is designed for them to move forward with their visions and their dreams. And then a Thursday session, I always go live every Thursday in there. So that will vary depending on what I feel the membership needs at that time. It could be linked to business strategy. It could be linked to the law of attraction. It could be linked to whatever I feel that they need at that time. And then Friday, they usually get a download tool. So that could be like a checklist for them. It could be something that they can use to move their business forward. It could be something that they can use for like time management. There's various task downloads that they get. They also have access to an academy, like a portal where there is over, 3 years worth of trainings on there now.
Wow.
And that when we were in lockdown, we had a guest session every single week. And those guest sessions like varied from human design, crystals, 7 steps to manifesting. There's tons basically, and I probably won't even do it justice trying to remember every single one, but they've got access to that so they can tap into that at any point. And there is pretty much something for everybody in the portal area. So yeah, and that's, we have about 50 members in there at the moment. And like I said, they are like, it's like a really positive community and everyone really supports each other. So it's a really good energy.
Wow, that's a lot. That's so incredible. That is amazing. That's a lot just in a week that you're doing for people. My goodness.
Yes.
That's a power-packed membership.
It definitely is. And we do also have a moon session. So with the new and the full moons, for those who follow the moon cycles, we have 2 moon sessions on the new and full moon.
I love that. I'm all about the woo and the practical, bringing those two together. Obviously, that's the whole part about bridging those things because they're both important.
They are absolutely both important. And I think some people see vision boards as quite a woo thing, whereas they are woo and you can actually tap into all the manifestation, but there is also the practical element of it as well, as if we haven't got any, magic wand. We aren't Cinderella. We've got no fairy godmother. You do actually have to put the work in as well and take that inspired action towards what you want to achieve.
Absolutely. I think action is incredibly important in that mix too. And that's where a lot of people will get stuck, I think. Do you find that where people, they sit and they do their stuff and they look and then they wait for it to show up while they're sitting on their couch?
Yes. A lot of people, they come into it either thinking that it's just going to happen and they don't have to do any work towards it, or they get stuck on themselves blocking the flow of the vision. So they get stuck in the procrastination or the imposter syndrome or the self-belief. And that's kind of what I like to help them remove those blocks that they've stuck on.
Yeah, that's so important. Obviously, that's a lot of what I do too, where, starting at the subconscious level and going in is the quickest, easiest, most complete way to just clear everything, kind of start and go into that new process that you want, that new change, that new life. And so why start out with all of those things in the way instead of just clearing them and then, getting on with it and moving through and being able to have those things that you put up on your vision board happen and come in. One of the things you said is that you really work at, and I think I agree with you, it's so important to work with the intention, to work with clearing the blocks, to work with all those things and get that in place. But is it okay for people to go ahead and start the process as they're doing that, to go ahead and put things?
Absolutely. And I would say don't wait. Okay. So there's no point in waiting for the perfect time. Start now, because as you grow, as you learn, you will grow. And that's super, super important. Actually taking the first step is the biggest thing to do. So taking that and growing and learning as you grow is so, so important, because we're not expected to know it all straight away. And sometimes you have to learn what's right for you. So I see some people create digital vision boards or, physical vision boards, for example, but then that might not be the right way for them. They might prefer a digital to a physical or vice versa. So it's about learning what works for you. And if you don't start, you're not going to learn that.
Boy, that's true. One of the things I do with my vision board, and this has encouraged me to, because I have kind of not been as active with it and it's showing. And so I've not been engaging with it as much because it's in a separate room and I need to bring it where it's available to me and
where you can see it, every single day.
See it and interact with it, like you said, look at something and have that visualization for a moment. But one of the things I started doing that I found really fun with it, I'm wondering if you or anyone else has ever done that, is I take some of the things, I'll have pictures or things like that too, and I take the ones that show up that come in, that manifest. And I have a part on cause my board's really big. I have a part on my board where I'll pin them up. I have a little corner of actual manifestation that I go, yep, that's here.
Yes.
Yep. And it's a little bit
have a whole wall of what I have achieved in manifestations. So I took this inspiration from one of my academy members, actually. She got herself, she wanted an office in the garden, you know, the office sheds that you can have. So she wanted this office shed in her garden. It was on her vision board, part of her plan of like re-renovating her kitchen. So she re-renovated the kitchen, had the office shed, etc. And in her new office, she put up her vision board, but also her old vision board with everything that she had achieved on. And they were like, created this big manifestation wall of obviously what she's focused on now and what she's actually had. And I was like, oh my God, I absolutely love that. So I'd always kept my pictures and I'd put them in like a folder, and I was like, oh, I'm going to make a book with them. And I never ever got round to making a book with them, but that was always my intention. So when I seen this wall, it looked absolutely amazing. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to actually make an achievement wall. So that's what I did. I got all my pictures out that I'd actually achieved. And now I have a whole wall of achievement walls in my office. So I've got my vision board that I'm working on right now, and then a wall of achievement. So it's so inspiring. Like whenever I feel a little bit flat or disheartened or something isn't quite working how I want it to work, I'll focus on actually I've achieved all this already, and it gives me that self-belief that I can achieve this as well.
Absolutely. And it just feels good. And when you're in that amazing energy of looking at what's happened and then you turn to what you want, it just amplifies that, I think, and brings that
vibration up, doesn't it?
It does. I think it does. It does for me. So I love the wall idea, and to see all that actually has happened, and to know this is a real, true, right thing. This is actually happening. Look, here's all the proof.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I'd love it if you could share another story or two in your own. I know that you've manifested some really incredible things. Your dream wedding, your little baby. That would love to hear that story, but there's and anything that you want to share from maybe some of the people that you're working with, I think of.
Yeah, some of the clients that I work with, seeing some of their achievements has been like, it does really light my fire up when they achieve something that they've been working on. And that's such it's so inspirational to see that not only have I been like seeing that, I've been part of that journey for them. So we've had, I've had lots of success stories with clients, like they've had new cars, like they've moved houses, they've been able to start new businesses, and there's lots of things that, but it's all down to what you want, isn't it? So everyone wants something different. It's so important to really understand what it is that you want rather than listening to what you think should be the case for you. So that's like, I could probably go lists like all day with some of the success stories that the members have had. And even today, for example, I had, someone had started reading my book, obviously yesterday, and she messaged me this morning and said, you've literally lit a fire inside me. I'm off to take some action now on she wanted to build this funnel for her business and she'd been putting it off. So she just I want to go and take some action. I'm off to get it done. So I'm excited to see where that vision is going to lead to. I've also helped a lady create a book, a children's book. So that was really good. Her coming to me with the vision of what she wanted. Then she went off, she put the work in, she created the book, and then I helped her submit the book and self-publish it. Seeing things like that. And then yesterday I actually seen her share that she's gone into a school with the book because it's around, children's money, savings, because she's a mortgage advisor. So that's her background is, money and finances. Her going into school, that was one of her visions, that she wanted the book to be more, children to enjoy the book, you know, really understand money, and seeing that was like, oh my God, you've actually started creating that vision.
That's so fun. That's so fun. So I have to ask, you know, I did mention your wedding, and you refer to your baby as your rainbow baby. Why is that?
Yeah. A baby after loss is known as a rainbow baby. So usually when you've experienced a loss, the baby that comes after, so it's like the rainbow after the storm, isn't it? You know, it's, they're usually known as the rainbow baby. I'm not sure if they use the same term in America or anywhere, but that's usually what I've known it to be called in the UK.
I've heard that before, but I never knew what it was.
Yeah.
Thank you. I will be much more sensitive to that, watching for it in the future and knowing what that means for them.
So our rainbow baby is actually, her name actually means rainbow as well, which is really, it's obviously a massive part for us.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I think knowing that that was something that you were able to come back and kind of bring good feelings to and be able to bring that in. I think sometimes, I'll use this as an example, and I know it's a little bit of a hard one, but with anything, it can be money, it can be especially a baby for anyone who's experienced a loss or experienced fertility issues or anything like that. You want something so bad and you hold on so tight that you almost lock off the energy to being able to manifest, to bring it forward.
And that was something that I did do in the early years of vision boarding, which is why obviously, because I've done that, I know how people can do that, which is why obviously within the book context that I have shared how I did that, but this is how you can do to not do that. So I kind of give what I did to kind of take that away to help me move forward. And it is something that people do hold on to, and they get so fixated with like the when, the why, the how, that they block off that energy flow to that vision, and they are so concentrated on actually being in it. Sometimes you have to take yourself out of the situation to then just let the energy flow back to it.
Yes, yes. I think holding loosely is the key to a lot of things. And it can be a hard thing. I'm so glad that you shared that in your book. That's going to be a great thing for people to go and check into, because that process is something that will change everything. It will change everything going forward, in how things show up for you and how you feel about them, knowing that you're going to be okay. You know, just knowing that you're going to be okay and moving into it is something that I think is a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm glad that you got there. Yay. And with your little ones, it's so exciting. Well, is there anything else, any other little tips or things that you want to share? I know, hey, go buy the book to get the best stuff, obviously, and to get the full process. But just as some little quick tips we talked about some of them, but anything else you can think of that you'd like to share?
I would just say that believing in yourself is really important. So if you don't have that self-belief, start there. Because if you don't believe in you, you won't believe in your visions. You won't believe in your dreams. So having that belief first is key. So working on that, as well as having the vision. So have the vision with you, but working on that self-belief is really, really important.
That's wonderful. And that's key. You're right. Because if you don't believe that you can have it, you're not going to get it. And so knowing that you're worthy of it, knowing that you're enough to have all those things is a beautiful thing. And you are, for whoever's listening, you are enough and you are worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
So, can you take a moment and just tell people where to find you? And of course, go find the Vision Board Blueprints by Lisa Williams on Amazon. And is it available in other places too?
Currently just Amazon. So currently just on Amazon at the moment. There will be some, hopefully in some local bookstores here in the UK, but right now it's just Amazon. And then, who knows where it will be in the future. Holding that vision for more opportunities always.
And where else can they find you?
Yeah, you could
what you do
find me on Facebook. Facebook is the probably the most easiest place to find me in terms of where I will spend a lot of my time. I have a Facebook community group called the Vision Board Lounge. That is a free community group. And then obviously I do have my academy, which is the Vision Board Academy membership. I am on Instagram and I am on TikTok under Lisa Williams, Vision Board Queen, but I generally spend more time over in Facebook.
Okay. And then you also have a podcast, yes?
I do, yes. Again, Vision Board Blueprints podcast. And that is a great podcast, again, packed full of tools and help and support around bringing your dreams to reality.
So they can go find some help right now, today.
Yeah, on the podcast. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. That's so great. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this with me today, Lisa. I got some great information and I'm going to go find some of those things in your book. So thank you for being here. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you very much, Laura.
All right. There you go, Change Gang. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you go find Lisa and start your vision board for the life that you want. And I hope that you have a great week. And I will see you right here, same time next week.
I hope today's episode was interesting to you in some way and fun. If so, hey, find someone to share it with. Maybe they need to hear it too, or maybe they'll just enjoy it. If you'd like, go ahead and grab my tips on supercharging your success. It includes a free short meditation to do just that. You can find that at bit.ly/supercharge your success. Until next time, happy day.